Hello, welcome back, my favorite movement enthusiasts. Today, we're going to get into a handful of habits that changed my life for the better. Even if you don't have too much energy, too much time at hand, or even resources to adapt to those habits, you will still be able to gain at least a little bit something out of it. So if you're ready, let's get right into it. Number one, which is probably one of the most potent things you can do, is have a structured morning routine. Now that is something I have been struggling with over the past couple of months because my work routine has been all over the place, especially with making videos and recording, editing, and all of this stuff next to my full-time job. It has been a hassle and I have been struggling with keeping up with what I have been doing back in the day. Having a structured morning routine can help you get a good start into the day. Fill it with small things that you can do that already give you a sense of accomplishment. It might be something little like just making your bed. It might be something a little bit bigger like going for a morning run. That is totally up to you. But the more small things you can pack into your morning that give you, one, a sense of accomplishment, and two, help you adapt to a better day, will over time make your days better and your quality of life increase. Now, this necessarily doesn't mean that you have to get up early. I most of the days don't get up before 10 a.m. because I usually work deep into the night, and for me that has been the best routine for what I do right now. But back in the day when I used to have early mornings where I did early classes at 6 in the morning, I used to get up at 4 and go for half an hour walk before I went to work and before I did anything else. No coffee, nothing, just brush my teeth, put on some clothes, go for half an hour walk, and that helped me tremendously start the day in a way that I really enjoyed it. And you can do that too with the smallest things possible. You might even consider brushing your teeth already a success, and that is good because some people really struggle with their morning routines. If you don't add anything, at the very least, change your perspective on how you see what you do in the morning. You brush your teeth, good for you, that's a success. You made your bed, good for you, that's a success. You went to the potty, good for you, that's a success. Good bowel movement is very important for our lives. Whatever it is, just try and see it in a positive light, even if you don't have anything to add to it yet. Which brings me to the second point, which we already brushed over, and that is going for a walk. Now, this one I have been doing religiously. In fact, last year I burned over 500,000 calories just by walking, and I get into between 8,000 and 11,000 steps every single day. Even if I am off work, even if I don't have anything to do, at the very least, those 2 hours of walking are definitely in there. Now, for most people, 2 hours of walking is going to be a very long time, and you might not have the time to allocate for just walking. So even if you only do 15 minutes, the benefits are myriad. And if you can time it right, you can add additional benefits to it. For instance, if you do it after your largest meal, you can have up to 50% reduction in your insulin response when it comes to the food you ate, which means that less of it will convert to fat over time. And just by walking those 15 to 20 minutes, you already have such an insane result that is basically like taking insulin for a diabetic. Now, I'm not telling you to stop taking insulin and go for walks if you are diabetic. However, it will definitely help with your insulin response in your body. It will also help with creativity. I believe it was Sun Tzu who said, "He who talks the talk has to walk the walk." And if you want to talk the talk, then walking is going to be a must for you. Just turning off for 20 minutes and just enjoying a couple of deep breaths outside while you are walking is already such a bonus for your body, for your life, and for your health. The quality of life is going to increase tremendously by just adapting to those simple things. Now we're getting a little bit more into the advanced territory, and that is finding goals that are very advanced, that lead to smaller goals in between. For instance, 6 years ago, I started deadlifting for real instead of just having fun with it, and my goal was triple my body weight. Now that is an insane goal, and it took me over 5 years to get there. I plateaued often, but in between that I had a lot of small goals. First of all, one time my body weight was already a struggle. Doubling my body weight was even more so of a struggle, and then just from 2 times to 3 times my body weight when deadlifting, that was insanely hard, and it took at least more than half the time I spent on the whole deadlift ordeal in general. Every single time that I found myself plateauing, I would just check on YouTube and see people who weigh the same as I do, who deadlift more than triple their body weight, and just watch them do it. And just knowing that it is possible already helped me a lot. So find yourself a goal that interests you, that leads you to have multiple smaller goals in between. And that is going to lead to a lot of success feeling over time. And at some point, you're going to reach that large goal and you're going to think to yourself, well, it wasn't that bad. It might be time for the next larger goal to adapt to. For instance, the only training I used to do 10 years ago, or more like 12 years ago, was basically hypertrophy. And one of the best tips, and the one that has changed my life most, was diversifying my fitness portfolio. Starting to learn bouldering and climbing, going back to doing martial arts and later teaching it, going into yoga and becoming a yoga teacher. All of this stuff only happened because I had someone who told me, yo, what you are doing is good and all, but you could do better. And having someone who helps you this way is worth so much more than money. I can't even put it into words. Now I have become the essence of a hybrid athlete, doing so many different things. My body freaking hates me for it while it happens. But afterwards, it always thanks me by being flexible, by being strong, by having insane cardio and insane strength. And all of those are things that over time will help you enjoy your life much more the older you get. And I would say that is something that's worth a lot. Which brings me to one of my favorite habits to add to your repertoire, and that is taking warm showers. Wait. That can't be it. No. Taking cold showers. Right. A cold shower has an absurdly powerful way of pulling you out of whatever hole you're in right now. It just pulls you into the moment right here. And it is a powerful tool you can use for yourself. Now, I used to hate cold showers and that didn't change. I still freaking hate it. But I have also realized that whenever I do take a cold shower, that afterwards I really enjoy whatever happens, because it's the worst part of my day already. If I already have this behind me, I know that whatever I'm doing after that, I'm gonna probably enjoy a little bit more than taking cold showers. Unless my day is going to consist of getting hit in the balls, then taking a cold shower is probably the most uncomfortable thing I have done that day, even if it's leg day. Which brings me to the final point I wanted to address today, and that is building in smaller habits over time. The longer the time, the smaller the habits, the better. The only difference between someone who is very fit and someone who is very unhealthy, someone who is super successful and someone who is basically a failure, is the small habits they do over the course of their lives. For instance, I would consider myself somewhat successful in what I do, and the only difference between me and most of the trainers that I see that do not get to be as advanced in their job is that I have taken over most of the successful habits I see from my trainer colleagues who've been doing this for longer periods of time, who have a way more experience when it comes to all the theoretical and the physical stuff. I have no problem with asking me to help me, to tell me what they did, and to try and implement some of what they did in my own life. And that has been of absurd help for myself. Not everyone can be tight with the people who are working in their industry. Not everyone can have a lot of friends who can help you out with their own life advice, but you probably do have some of them, and just talking to them a little bit can really help you. If you don't, however, on YouTube you're going to find a lot of people who are not only willing but able to help you, and who do this with a passion. For instance, for me, one of the biggest ones has been Strength Side. If you've never seen that channel, I can highly recommend it. It's basically just higher quality of what I do, and at some point maybe I will be just as good. But until then, maybe this is the channel for you and you will never come back here. But even so, if I was the one who got you there, then I'm really happy for you, and I hope that you can take away from that channel as much as I could. Sadly, however, this is all the time I have left for you today. I am on my way to work, taking another walk because I have a couple of classes to teach. But if you like the video and subscribe and check out more videos, because we have new ones on this channel every single day. I'm not even exaggerating. Captain Cairo, peace out.